Trash to Cash podcast, episode 175. How's it going, everyone? I'm Dave, the ADH
Why am
guy.
I looking
With
at
me,
Dave?
As always, is Carrie, American Arbitrage,
Hey, what's up,
and
everybody?
Kevin,
How
the
are you
Commonwealth Picker. How's it going, guys?
You are aggressively large in this frame.
What do you mean?
Like your face is bigger than the screen.
That doesn't sound right.
That's a normal size head.
It's just normal.
Are you okay?
Talking about
Do you
Kevin.
have your glasses on?
Kevin's having a weird
That's how,
day,
you look
I don't
good.
know.
It's like you must have a filter on or something. You look kind of handsome.
I've just naturally got smolder, Kevin.
Just
Hey.
right there into the olive
you doing,
eyes,
big guy?
the green eyes.
It's the first video I felt like I did look older than you two. Carrie's
this
got
one?
the, yeah.
I've got,
Normally I
yeah,
feel
no, I've
younger.
got like
I
the,
look younger.
yeah, dude,
The
it's,
question
you're doing,
with me and Carrie's
you're doing what that
beard
one guy's
is-
doing, like where you're circulating in the blood of family members so that you could stay youthful. What's that one guy doing? Brian Johnson or something? Look it up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look it up. I'm not alone. Look it up.
You want me to
down
look it
below.
up now?
No, just I'm telling people to drop links.
Oh, okay.
Are you
so
running
anyways,
two lives on Trash to Cash simultaneously?
Trash to Cash.
I'm looking at Trash to
Oh, the
Cash
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah,
and there's two
I've
live
been
shows
streaming
going
a
at
couple
once.
people today. The reason for that is tonight is like one of the busiest nights ever on Dibdit Network, the Dibdit Network, the Dibdit Home Network, the Dibdit Home Shopping Network. Let's say that.
We've had five.
And-
We've had five before. We actually had six for one moment in time, but they were
Yeah.
transitioning from one show to another.
Yeah, so I was trying
We
to
had
help
4 on
promote so
Dibdit
people could
alone,
say,
like regular old timey Dibdit.
Carrie was over my house and we were watching like 8 streams. We're all just watching different things. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
kind of
could
funny
tell
because there's
something
like a
was going
different. There's like kind of a different like person for each of us. Like Carrie liked one show, Don liked a different show, I liked a third show. So it was kind of cool.
Exactly.
You know, we all had our favorite thing going on. I found the All Plus show, of course.
There was
So-
2
Dawn-
plus shows, I think.
Yeah,
weren't
Dawn
there?
was in that
Yeah.
too.
Well, she has this like family she likes. They sell with the kids, and she just buys
Not for my
everything from them.
society.
Yeah, she just buys
Yeah, I
everything
met
from
them at the Boss Reseller Remix. They
Yeah,
may be
they're
there
Vegas.
this year too.
He's in
Yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
them. Yeah.
Good guy.
I'm the only
Well-
one going to that, by the way. And they want a PowerPoint, by the way.
No, Kat's going to be there, isn't she?
Yeah, Kat's going to be there.
Carrie
Well, I meant in
and
this
Rod.
podcast, I didn't mean of all the people in the world. There's going to be a lot of people there.
No,
that
it's
aren't
They
just
on
wanted
the
you.
podcast.
listen. They
It's
wanted
just you.
They asked for a PowerPoint from me as well. We may have a delay because we're talking over each other worse than normal. So they wanted one for me too, and I told them, I was like, "Look, I was a teacher for 20 years. I was like, I'm not doing a PowerPoint. I'm just going to go up there and talk."
That's pretty much what I want to say, respectfully. And I'm doing it with Rod, too. And me and Rod are like, when was the last time you did a PowerPoint? And both of us was college. Granted, I was in college forever, so I'm closer. So I guess I'd
Well,
have to
one
do it,
thing
but-
we know about Rod is he'll be there on time. Not sure about Carrie. He'll be there on time, and he'll be prepared. Carrie can riff off anything, so he doesn't
That's what I'm
have to
saying.
prepare.
Roger, yeah, trust me. It's the art of yard sale something. I don't know. That's all I need to know. The art of
Rod will
going-
get you going, just
yard
like
sale,
the No
finding
Bangers
stuff.
podcast, and you'll just start, just like Dave does to you here. It's good.
I want to go so I can meet with the eBay employees. You know, just kind of talk to them.
Yeah, you could just start crawling towards them. Just please have me back. Just a little bit of porridge.
Gary's flexing a little with the hoodie today, Kev. You see that? Little flex.
what
He's
is
got the
it?
Gritty Ghost.
Gritty
the
Ghost.
V-Friends
Oh yeah,
hoodie.
little V Friends for. I'm the one of guys. I buy the first edition. What the heck do they call it now? I don't know. The NFT.
So that's why you didn't get a hoodie. You
I
don't even
get
know what
2
it's
of them. I can't get a sweatshirt from Gary V. What the heck?
The NFT market's dead.
You got to
right?
start doing
Completely
sports
dead.
cards. Sports cards. He wants to do. He's doing cards. He's doing Topps Chrome V Friends. So I think we're gonna open
Really?
some. I guess I don't know. We'll
I
see.
kinda
gave
fun. Yeah, you
you
should open
some
'em.
V Friends and you opened
Yes,
them.
I did, and you were
maybe I
prominent
should
in the
do
video, and it bombed. Oh my gosh, did it bomb? No, it did fine.
I enjoyed it. It was good.
It was
I
fun.
had fun.
It was fun.
So we should talk reselling. We're a reselling podcast, and
Are
I
we?
don't understand why Kevin is so far away when we all agreed to be
Kevin,
a little
they
closer
wanna
tonight.
see
Carrie
your eyes,
is a little
your
closer.
beautiful,
I'm a little closer.
Soulless eyes.
Yeah, I like how they're black on the inside and the outside. That's interesting.
I'm getting a little grayer here, y'all. Dawn might
Finally.
have to rethink her. I'm finally getting some gray to set in. It's been
I'm
a
starting
long
to get
time. You
gray
guys are
here.
already gray.
in my mandibles.
Kevin,
It's
that
upsetting.
that does tend to happen when you stop dyeing your hair. So I'm not super surprised that it's finally started to grow in. Okay, Gem Flipper over on Patreon. I wanted to start with this one. Is they said, is 2025 the year we see a reseller exodus? Several local resellers I know are quitting and getting real jobs, along with some people on social media. Maybe Dixon's Pickens, who has now quit eBay.
But he
as
also
well.
started another channel that's been pretty successful, so that gives you some
So is that
leverage.
part of the recipe to quit eBay? Is to have a second channel? Maybe.
The recipe? No.
Get another job.
Well, hey, there's a good correspondence there, right? The big influx in reselling was when people had jobs and a lot of them were getting paid and they were sitting at home all day. So like, I'll make some extra money, right? And so I think that part, people have said for years, oh, you can't resell anymore because so many people are reselling. And I've been arguing the numbers are actually going down for the last 3 years. They are. And I think that's because of the end of COVID. So but here's the funny part. We're quitting. Now there's more and more people quitting, and you still can't sell on eBay. You still can't make any money on eBay. I get that now. So it's like, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Well, we went to the flea market today, Kevin, and so it's interesting. We were getting blown away by wind, so it's not just localized to your town.
Crazy.
What kind of gusts do you have today? We had like 25 to 35 miles.
I just watched stuff fly across the front yard, and I'm like, well, that must be 80 miles an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, puppy pelts, that sort of stuff. Just
Puppy pelts.
Cruella DeVille.
Shallow.
Cruella DeVille.
Tupperware. It's a Tupperware tsunami everywhere. Not tsunami.
Okay,
hurricane, something. I don't know.
So you said this affecting your internet, your power. Me and
All day.
Callie were in Publix today, Kevin, and the power went out in the whole store. The whole store just had a blackout. So, and then I yelled, "Everyone loot!" And then we all looted, and I have a lot of cool new stuff.
5 seconds later, Dave was in the chip
5 seconds
aisle
later,
with
the light
17
comes
bags
on.
open on the floor, just eating.
How did he open that many Doritos that quickly?
He just opened and moved, moved.
He's selling Funyuns on Dibdit tomorrow. You'll know where he got them.
He was pocketing eggs.
One lady was like,
expensive.
"Oh no, I'm scared of the dark," like an elderly lady too, and we're just like, "Oh my gosh!" And then the lights came back on like 5 seconds later. So it was
At
kind of
that
cool.
point, though, you can't really get over it. If you're old
pitch black,
and you're still scared of the dark,
yeah,
you're
it's
always
not
gonna
happening.
Be scared.
Yeah.
Jeez. We didn't talk
Kevin,
about reselling. We tried.
Well,
for a
no,
second.
listen, I did publish a video, my week 2 update, and I think officially as this comes out,
I could have been
Bearded
like one of those
Can eat his
commenters.
words.
I could be one of those commenters. I could have been like first.
You did comment on there, yes, you did.
But I didn't say first. Now I'm interested in your videos.
Because you weren't
they weren't
first,
interesting
Kevin.
before. Now they're interesting.
And did you watch the
just
whole thing,
because of the
Kev?
comments? Oh no.
You just wanted to read the comment. You just wanted to read the hate comments. So you have a leg up because I was going to read some during the show without having
I haven't read
some.
any. I was the first one. There was none on
I
there
did
yet.
read some. I really enjoyed
read some.
Dave's hate comments. They're fun. I try to defend them. Sometimes they
now
upset
you're
me.
getting. I'm intrigued now. I can't wait.
Well,
I
I'm
just
looking at
poked-
getting some on this video too with the extreme close up, just for Kevin's benefit.
Hey,
I like to.
Tina, you
talk
watching?
about myself.
Tina,
You're going to
you
get a lot of
watching?
comments. You're going to get a lot of teen. You better watch out. You better watch out. Well, look at these
Okay,
comments right here.
so maybe you could go sell most of your inventory at a weekend flea market, no shipping, said one viewer.
Oh yeah,
and this is in
and
regards
make
to me
a
quitting
lot
eBay.
less money and
I
take
don't know,
home a
some
bunch
people
of
at the
stuff.
flea market. Yeah, I mean that's the real problem. Is that
You're not going to
you
sell
bring
it all.
out there.
You bring it out there and put prices that are, I don't know what you're getting, at least 50, just say 50% of eBay. You put them out there at 50% of eBay, you will take 95% of those things home.
Yeah. Well, I mean that happened today. We met someone at the flea market, and he had been considering selling on Dibdit. And Carrie, gave him that little push. Like, he actually pushed him, which was aggressive. But the guy seemed to
get
be like,
on
yeah,
there.
Did you do the
now that
sumo
you're
stance
physically
before you
assaulting
did
me,
it?
I'm going to sell on Dibdit.
No, I just did
And,
the sumo stance, and he's like, I don't want a piece of that because he looks like pure power and
But
muscle.
he's selling right now, right, Carrie? Is he still going? I think he's still. Let me look
Is
and
he?
see if he's still going.
Is he the guy selling the Simpsons stuff?
Yeah, the good stuff.
He was
He's selling
like
some good
Batman
stuff.
But is that like official stuff or is it loose
He's still
stuff
alive.
or what?
He had a little of everything. He had some loose, some new. I mean, it can
he's
still be
still
official
alive.
and not on a
We've
card.
got
We need to
four
get
people
buyers.
live right now at 9:46 on a Sunday p.m.
Yeah. We've got people
Buyers
making
are the
YouTube
trick.
videos with Dibdit in the title, which is pretty
Nice. It's starting to get
Yeah.
good. Call up
like, "Oh, I
Dixon's
tried
Pickens,
selling
see
on
if he wants to sell off his inventory.
wild.
Real quick.
Well, and we also
He sells
ran into a
clothes.
lady. Yeah, we ran into a lady today who is liquidating her makeup collection, her makeup store, and we told her to sign up for Polish and Brush.
Yeah, we're pretty
The
much
Polish
just,
and Brush Live. They did all right.
we're pretty
Made
much
over
like, it
$100.
reminds me of the missionary days when I was a Mormon missionary. We're just basically going booth to booth trying to convince these people to sell on DibDit.
But see,
basically
that's
what we're
the
doing.
wrong approach. I think there's enough sellers right now. It's time for more growth in the buyer pool, and then we can attack it. We got 4 lives, dude. We don't have 10,000 people on there. I think our push needs to be for buyers. Rod had a great idea for me. He said the top 10 videos you've done, I did one on Cabbage Patch Kids, I did one on cereal toys, I did one on VHS, is to make top 10 videos because they get out there further past the reseller universe. He's like, and put a DibDit ad in the middle of those from now on. I was like, that's a pretty good idea because
Can
it's
I do the
reaching a
DibDit
different
ad?
audience.
I'll be serious. I want to do the
Yeah.
DibDit ad.
Yeah, we'll save it for the Super Bowl next year.
Okay.
I think that we should just do Paul's merch ads and just not do DibDit.
Yeah.
ads.
Oh, that's true. We should just do
Let's
Paul's
just
merch sponsored
focus on
.com
Paul.
sponsored by DibDit. Don't explain what
Carrie,
DibDit is or what
I have
Paul's merch is.
a special request from myself. I would like another dystopian Paul's merch motivational video, but I want it to get more dystopian than ever before. Like, I want it
Okay.
just ultra dystopian at this point. Like, dead corpses everywhere, robots
I
ruling.
don't have that kind of
Paul's
power.
merch. I want you
I
to
could get
animate
AI
it.
to help do it. I
Could
could
you
do an
claymate
AI
it?
background. No, I could do an AI background and just keep changing it, I think.
Yeah,
What keeps
I think
dinging?
do
Is it something
claymation.
that I'm hearing? Is it on my computer? I
it
keep
could
hearing
be your
ding. Is it-
pacemaker, your hearing aid.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Ear
opportunities.
tinnitus
there.
is part of getting older, Kevin.
Is it the sales? Does somebody have something on? Is it my phone?
No,
that's
we
doing
don't
it?
sell on eBay, so it can't be that.
Yeah. We don't get up. We only
Hey.
make money if we're live, Kevin.
I have a
allegedly.
question about eBay though. So a lot of these people are quitting or doing whatever, going to live selling, going to some other job. But I haven't heard too many like that. Did y'all just hear that?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Did
I
you get
heard that. I
digital
just heard
diapers
that.
or something? They go off every time you do a little toot toot.
You shut up.
Little-
Somebody's
little
doing
poop.
something. Are those sales?
No.
What the heck?
Hands,
Anyway.
hands in the air,
Hands
Dave.
Yeah.
You can still
So-
touch the keyboard with other things, though.
Live selling is affecting my static buy it now selling on eBay because I'm
Why do you say
constantly
that?
over there monitoring doing.
Oh, because you're
like
constantly, you're obsessed.
Yeah,
You are
well,
obsessed.
Although I'm not obsessed with buying, I'm sitting there on there today. Dave's buying. I didn't see
I like
Carrie
to support
buy.
people. I like to support people.
I'm very firm. I encourage others to. And then Dawn was buying though, because she was buying for the grandbaby. So
But Carrie won't.
Ow.
Carrie
Hit my
won't.
hand.
I
I
will
didn't
buy in
buy today,
person,
I don't
whatever they want, if it's under $10.
Like Second Love says she doesn't buy on Sundays. She takes a day off of buying. That's probably a good idea, Dave. Should try.
Good
Not a bad
strategy.
idea.
I can
Kevin, you're
firmly
cheap
say
in
that.
general, though. You're just generous. I mean, you're not.
Oh,
you're cheap
man.
with that kind of stuff. You're not cheap
Hey,
in other ways. You're,
that
you're
reminds
very
me.
generous in other ways. But
you know what you know what you're right, Carrie. It's the systematic. This I don't know if it's hypocritical or not. It's the systematic things that I'm very frugal and cheap on. I don't mind, once in a while going nuts and helping folks out and doing whatever. But the systematic, it's like the boxes, right? It still drives me nuts that Carrie spends 26 cents too much on a box over and over and over again. It's crazy. That's
Yeah.
the stuff that gets me.
I mean,
no, it makes sense.
yeah.
I get it, man. And I think give me like another 5 or 10 years, and I'll figure it out.
But look at
I
my
think by the
picker.
time I hit 50, I'll be there. I'll be like where you are. with
Look at my-
thinking about frugality. Afterward.
Look at my picker video today.
Look at
and
your
you'll
what?
see
Your
that
pecker?
my picker video.
Oh.
You'll see that my unfrugality, my generosity, paid off big time. You do
Oh,
this,
as long
Dave.
as
We've
you
talked about it
advertise
before.
it, Kevin. That's the important
Yeah.
part.
There we go.
No,
Let's
I don't.
Treasures on
But
earth.
pile up those treasures here now.
Dave, we've talked about this. I'm sure, Carrie, you've done it. If you come across a seller who's like, "Oh, I know you," whatever, you're always looking around. You want to buy
course,
something,
yeah.
right? I did
Kevin's
that with
Hurst
this
will
guy.
have the U-Haul.
And I would have walked away from his table, and I was like, I got to find something. I look under his table, and he's got a box of hats at the flea market. And I looked at him. I'm like, okay, I can make. I'm like, how much? He's like, $1. I'm like, sweet, I can get something off of you. And I bought. If it wasn't for that guy saying something to me, I wouldn't have bought him. And there was $100 hat in there.
Yeah, so you were just
And a
looking for
couple
like a
of
way to
$30
kind of like
hats.
rip off someone, and you found like the little, because you weren't going to buy just to be nice. You wanted to make money off it.
And I had
Good
a
job,
couple
Kevin.
viewers say, you should never buy out of empathy or sympathy or no.
Well, you
I'm like,
should sometimes.
Like,
I
don't you
think.
ever
The
buy
pity
lemonade?
buy. I do the pity buy daily. I did it today several
Yeah.
times at the flea market.
I still vividly remember like you directing me, Kevin, in Vegas to go buy lemonade from a kid for my video.
that, yeah.
You're like, dude, get out and buy
Primed
this
it
for the
up
video.
you, Carrie.
I've been talking to this kid. Go buy lemonade from him for your video. I really
Kevin
have.
literally gave
I was
Carrie
trying
the money.
to get. Carrie wasn't with. I was with Art, and Carrie and Dave weren't with me, and I was trying to get Carrie into the video to pump his arbitrage channel, and I'm like, dude, you got to get something instead of moping around. That was a rough day. That was the worst I ever saw Carrie. What?
No, it's true. I was moping around.
He was moping
First
around.
off, I went to
happy.
pick Dave up and he was late, which was weird.
Yeah.
That threw me off.
It was a weird day.
And then we
It was a weird
didn't
day
follow
for me.
you, and it was one of those pre-suck it Kevin days where you were finding the good
goes
stuff
days.
and we weren't.
Yeah.
I don't like those days.
Pre-Florida days.
Pre-Florida days.
Listen, so some of the comments I got, I brought up your y'all's, I believe, opinions that I should keep sourcing because you had mentioned continue sourcing and load up my shipping container and things like that.
Yeah.
You may have different circumstances, though. But
Yeah,
in general.
yeah. There's circumstances that would change the reasoning for behind doing that, but at the same time, like all my commenters are now like, well, if other pickers are telling you should keep sourcing, you should listen to them and don't
other
stop
pickers
sourcing.
are telling you not to do what you're doing. Me and Carrie
Yeah.
got ripped for supporting you in this.
Yeah.
Did you get ripped? I got
know.
ripped for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Like, dude, I wouldn't support everybody in this, but in this situation,
100%
in this
supporting Dave
location,
in this. This is a great idea for Dave, and for a lot more people than I think they know. If that makes sense, I think it would work for a lot more people than you'd imagine. But still,
Well,
it's not for everybody.
I did a flipper video today, and I kind of talked about my numbers. And essentially, after fees, after shipping, I've been netting about $3,500 a week net, not gross, net, which is much higher than a normal eBay week for me, as you know. My eBay month in January was 7,000 gross, about 4,800 net. Right, like on very good weeks, I would do 2,500 to 3,000 on eBay.
but you are also burning. Look, I'm just
You're
playing
burning
devil's
through.
advocate.
Yeah.
You're burning through your good eBay inventory right now. Now,
Yeah.
here's and people will say that, and it's true, but I think that it'll tell the whole story in a year from now, where you're bringing in merchandise, selling it, bringing it, because there's not a stock load of it right there, and then I don't think you'll be quite as high. I don't know, maybe you do, but I still think in the end result will be better than what you were doing.
I think if it's the size and shape of the items I'm selling right now, I don't want it to be this high because shipping is hard, and I want to kind of
They're
get
gonna
to a
change
point, in
what you
6 months,
source.
I'll be sourcing a little different, right? And I did it today. Today I went to the flea market and I sourced a little different. There was things I saw, really nice glass pieces that I normally would have bought, but I was like, no, I'm not going to buy
I think
those.
the real
Don't
proof
wanna
of
ship
concept, where you'll see, I don't know, like where the latex meets the skin, like if it works, if it feels good and it feels right. I think that's what Kevin always says.
them. Yeah.
You'll know if it works.
sheepskin.
He uses sheepskin. I just wanted to make it weird. But I think you'll know if this works in the summer. Once you've actually gone through this inventory. I'm being serious because that's when you want to wear
I'm
latex.
laughing at
in
my
the
joke.
summer in Florida. You're going to know if this works when you actually have to restock weekly or bi-weekly for
Listen,
inventory. And if you can get it at the right price
the
and
thing
still
is-
make, $2-3 grand or whatever.
The thing I don't think a lot of people are thinking about is I have not even close to, explored all the sourcing opportunities in Florida. There's so many sourcing things that I intentionally don't go to, like the Wednesday flea market that's a half hour away that people say is great for consistent sourcing. There's tons of storage auctions. Someone I know has told me that she can take me to a place where I can get storage units for $20. Like literally. So there's tons of connections I have intentionally never called back, right? If I really want to source high volume, sell high volume long term, I think I can. I don't know that I want to. I don't know that I need to.
That's a whole other thing. You don't need to make
Yeah, I have to decide
$3,500
what I need.
on
Yeah.
lives necessarily to survive at all.
No,
Yeah,
but it's
that's-
interesting.
Or
to
even
see
make what you were
what's
making on
possible.
eBay. Literally, you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to make what you were making on eBay necessarily either. If you have
you
more free
could.
time.
You could find yourself somebody who knows how to pack way better than you, And if you're making that much, throw them a couple
Then it
$100
might be
bucks
worth it.
and
Yeah.
100%. Especially
It might
because
be
you
worth
won't
it to
get as
sell that
many
much.
returns.
If I magically was netting that much, it'd be like 175K net a year. That's insane numbers. That's crazy numbers. Like,
Right, but that's for
I
you.
don't think that's sustainable. What?
Yeah.
It's crazy for me. I think it's crazy
No,
for
no.
most people to net 182 after fees. And
I am
shipping.
saying that if somebody had your exact same situation and started doing you tell me, if somebody had your exact same situation and came on there and started selling day one, is selling the exact same stuff you are, would their numbers be that?
Are you saying not my exact same situation then?
No, I'm saying your exact
So
same
they have
situation.
My voice, they have my channels. They have my.
That's
that
what I'm
would be
getting
my
to.
exact situation.
I'm talking about the merchandise. Your situation with your merchandise, not your personality, not your social media.
No.
But what do you think they would be? Like, honestly, to give people perspective. Selling the same way you do.
They're as good at auctioning as
Yep.
as Carrie and me, and
no,
not
as-
Kevin, because Kevin's just really poor at
Yeah,
it.
creepy about it.
He does that creepy stuff where he's like, "Yeah, bid, yeah, I bid that,
Exactly.
Dude, are we still
Starts
recording?
rubbing his VHS symbol on his chest.
Like, yeah, can you bid again?" No,
Yeah,
it's,
rewind.
Be kind.
worst case if you're okay. So if you're
Okay.
bad at auctions, if you're very bad and run it very slowly, don't ever talk, things like that, then
I've seen-
where I'm at.
Yeah. That was
You
the
know,
point I wanted to bring out. And the social media plays, especially in the big
You
launch,
gotta-
right? But I think you
auctioning
get
is
your
a
following.
muscle, isn't it? It's a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger you get. Anyone can become good at an auction, I believe, if they do it consistently.
Yes and no. So, I mean, I had baseball players that worked their butts off harder than others, and they weren't nearly as good at it. It just has some innate ability in it as well.
Well, I think but I think there's this level where anyone, if they were practicing and became good at doing a live auction, they could be at least 60.
Are you going to get?
what I'm doing?
Yeah, 100%. What do you? What? When are you going to do a tip video on how? Because I see people go on there and they do this and they fail, and they do slightly something a little different and they have a little success. It's really a skill.
I need to do it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Dave
I
needs
have
to
like
do it.
6
I
video
agree.
ideas. I think
Dave
the
should.
biggest one is just the basic, here's how to go live on Dibdit and have an easy auction. Because I see so many people pre-listing everything and spending all this time doing that, and I need to do
Money
that.
per
Not
hour goes
necessary.
down, and
Yeah.
it's like half. You
The
could cut
whole
out
idea of live
half the
auctions
work.
is to not list.
Yeah, I was talking to
There's
Death
also-
Pile. We were doing one on Threads this week, or Threads. No, what are we doing, Dave? We're doing on Threads on Thursday, but we're doing another semi-launch on sports, Dibdit Sports. And Mike's like, I got these clubs. I got a set of clubs. Should I pre-list them and do whatever? I'm like, dude, if you're gonna pre-list them, go put them on eBay.
Yeah,
Don't pre-list them.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. And also, it's quicker to do it this way. And one thing that's important about the auctions, honestly, is having flexibility and going with the flow. There's a lot to that. I do it all the time with cards. I have 1,000 cards around me, boxes on each side, has certain types of stuff, semi-organized. And if I notice, they want Marvel that day, I pull more Marvel. If they want this football team, the Los Angeles Rams, if Kevin's in there.
Yeah, Tim does
whatever.
that to me all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah, no,
I'm
but
just here to
that's-
support you. And he's like, I got one that Kevin wants. I'm like, what am I supposed to do
I
now?
just pull out Malik Willis stuff, and I'm like, I make you feel bad. I'm just like, dude, Turner would love this.
Dave, I sold
think-
a pennant
Well, listen.
on eBay.
Oh, what'd you get for it?
It's a New York City felt pennant. I got $14 plus shipping.
Okay. Well, listen. I think what's important to think of with the context of my transition into auctioneer guy is I want to match eBay last year's net. I don't need to double it or triple it or whatever, and I think that is completely possible. I think even if I was, what would I need to bring in? I netted 68K last year. So what is that divided by
On eBay?
52 grand? Yeah, on eBay.
Okay.
So
but
if
you
I
also
just-
sold live last
I
year.
sold 20K live, yeah. So, but that wasn't net. I don't know what my net was. Yeah, let's say it was 80K. Probably would be my net divided by 52 weeks. So if I could net 1,500 a week, I think that's sustainable. 1,500 a
Definitely
week.
sustainable.
Yeah, that'd be about
Yeah,
2,400, 2,300.
And in
gross.
less work or more work? for the.
Oh, it'd be way less. I'm doing a lot of work
less
right
work.
now selling this quantity. I don't necessarily want to keep up this pace unless I become like a hyper niched pin seller or something like super small, easy to ship stuff like cards.
It's
or
way
clothes or something
different
like
if you're
that.
doing sports cards or you're doing comics, or even like if you're doing a specific thing that you could either, get mailing supplies for specifically. But when you're doing, a poster along with a some sort of
I've been doing a lot of that
large item,
crap.
a VCR,
Or if you have
a giant
Dawn there
plush and a baseball
picking
bat,
items.
Yeah.
or Dawn is just making your life miserable.
A piece of Murano glass, a giant action figure, and a golf club. Just fit that in a box, guys. Easy
Good
peasy.
luck.
There you go. That's my philosophy. So I haven't been selling much live lately because I know Dave isn't going to keep up this pace, and there's not much
No,
room
I'm
for
going to
people
slow
to
down
breathe
in
right
March
now.
probably.
So when he slows down, I like to ramp it up. But my strategy, I have bins full of the same size items. I'm just going to do those, and then the next time I'll do these, and the next time I'll do those odd shape ones, and maybe bump up the progressive a little bit because you put this item with this item or this, it makes it a little harder.
Well, I think that, so today I got a big box of NES games. Carrie was with me.
Nice.
He was looking at them. The price was super high. She
I
was
did-
not
yeah, I didn't
negotiable.
negotiate. You went
She
back.
wasn't negotiable. Several other
You
people
went back
told me they
hours
couldn't-
later, which is important. Check
I
back
said that to
before you
Tina,
leave
yeah.
with some of these
Yep.
people.
Yep. I said to Tina, I said, I need to go back to the NES lady because, it's getting super windy. People's tents are falling down. Stuff's flying off their tables. Could probably be some pretty cool footage, honestly, with all the mayhem that was happening at the flea market today. But I told Tina, I said, I need to go back to the NES lady and see if she'll do a crazy deal. Because she was like 185 all day or whatever it was. And I told Carrie, I said, I'm going to go try to get it for 100.
Was she
and I got
only
it for
selling
120.
them together?
Yes, she would
Yeah.
only sell them
Okay,
together.
so she hadn't sold any from earlier in the
Nope.
day?
Nope.
Nice.
But it was good games. Super Mario, Kid Icarus,
Zelda.
River City Ransom, some real classics from my childhood and stuff. So.
A little bit of Atari
Goonies.
too, which
Yeah.
Goonies
That's
too.
and that's easily trackable, like your video was today, where you
Mm-hmm.
talked about how much you spent on the Harry Potter stuff,
Yep,
and you
sold
could
it right
figure
away.
out. So
Oh,
when
it's
you
going
do
to
that,
get
it's-
easier. It's going to get easier as I run out of inventory, which is what I'm really looking forward to be able to get that instant haptic feedback.
Here's an
of,
idea.
I went to the flea market today, spent $400. I'm going to do an auction, sell it all. I brought in $700. I'm going to change how I source in these ways.
That's a good. Think about this for your picker channel, right? And you could kind of take, since you edit, a month later, 2 later, whatever it is, you could cut into that video and talk about it. It's like, here's my sales. This is my net profit on this particular deal. This is where I sold it on Dibdit. I'd watch that video.
No, I think that's totally the future of some of this stuff. Is I'm gonna. It will eventually be to a point where. I mean, the problem is I'm 5 months behind. Literally editing September right now on picker footage. So, I'll just need to cut the line with videos, which I do sometimes. I just cut the line and edit them quicker. And that other stuff can be like, down the road.
Or
I'll put it out,
extend them.
whatever.
Make them 50
Yeah,
minutes
make 'em
long for a
An
while.
hour. Do what Paul's doing and just release a 40-minute video every single day for 3 weeks straight, just randomly.
Uncut.
Uncut. Yeah, are they uncut? Is that
All
the
the
trick?
flirting, all of it. The
Mm-hmm.
womanizing, the old ladies, all of it. Just put it in there.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Ooh,
We are
spicy,
saying
Kevin.
allegedly. We do not mean to defame.
We do not condone.
Oh,
Kevin
come on.
Brown.
Paul's a flirt. He flirts with everybody out there.
Lynchburg,
We all
Virginia.
know this.
So I don't know. I think that right now all's peaches and cream, and I'm gonna keep selling through the inventory. Dawn's been teaching me how to speak like a '50s gangster. So peaches and cream is
We've
what I'm
noticed that.
trying
We've
today.
been talking a lot about.
Yeah, whenever Dawn
You
gets
go
excited,
on, likes
she's
to
like,
say-
"Oh." Do the Dawn.
Don always says like I made out like a fat rat. I'm like, Don, you're the only person I know in the world who says that. Like
right.
you
Like
and
Peachy Keen,
1930s like
Yeah.
gin runners or whatever. That's
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna bring it
If
back.
Dawn
guys.
released full-length videos, boy, she'd have some
I keep
critics.
telling her she will, but I think people
It's
are real good
hilarious.
about
I
Dawn.
think it's funny. Oh, yeah, and the people who sell to her do, too.
Well, today's her
It's funny.
birthday, Kevin. Today's her birthday.
Oh, really?
So you should text her happy
Right.
birthday when. if
I
you
have
remember.
that exact same birthday coming up in just a little while.
Yeah,
You're a
big,
few
big.
weeks behind.
Well, no, Kevin,
Don't
because
say
you're
the
twice her
age.
age.
Don't say
You're
the
twice her
age, yeah.
age.
96. 96.
No, so I think long term, that to me the measure of success would be like in 6 months, can I if I desire net 1,500 a week, weeks and weeks and weeks in a row, and if I can, I feel like then it was a sensible switch. And if my life is also simplified, and if my workload is always also less, then I think that's a success.
But what about bearded PokeTuber? I mean, I
Well,
could
it's been 2
see
weeks
a
and
time
2 days.
where Dave
Yeah,
lists
so-
something on eBay again. I could see that.
Have you practiced your crawl for when you do crawl back? Are you gonna milk it? Or are you gonna fast baby crawl?
I
Or are
never
you gonna,
said
like,
I was
military crawl?
refusing. I never said I was refusing.
No,
to
I know.
sell.
I know you did.
But of
That's right.
course, if I like get laryngitis and can't talk ever again, or so I can't run an auction, there's reasons I'd go back to eBay. If I decided I wanted to not do live auctions anymore, I
What
could go
about the
back to
decline? Obviously, there was a big push at the beginning and had a huge audience. It's still large, but it got a little smaller I think it's probably leveled out
eBay. Yeah,
about right
it's
now. or
leveling out a
close
bit
to it.
now. Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, if you're
It's the same with
sourcing right, it
anything.
doesn't matter. If you're sourcing right, it's just like Chris Flip the World. He's like out there. He'll sell a $150 item for $20, and he's completely happy because he's buying it right. He's buying.
There's enough eyes, in my opinion, and you could determine if this is biased or not. But there's enough eyes on Dibdit at the moment. Whereas if you put out like really good stuff and it was going undervalued for a little bit, a couple shows, eventually
It's
people would catch on.
an interesting
People would be
dynamic.
like, I'm not letting that get away for that price. I'll pay this price, and it'll add up to where it's a better price.
Yeah,
over
and
time.
what I'll see with these shows is they're now competing a little bit against each other, and
Yeah.
if you're trying to sell off the stuff that can't sell on eBay, you're going to struggle. And I mix stuff up, right? I have some stuff that's up here and stuff here that's cool and whatever. I mix it up. But if you're just trying to sell off, plush that are unbranded or something for an hour, you're going to sell a few, but you're not going to sell a ton.
I think we have a very smart buying audience on Dibdit.
Yep.
Smarter than probably anywhere else, and
We got a lot of pickers.
yeah,
I mean,
a lot of
we're
pickers
still
and pickers
getting
are
buyers.
smart. Pickers know what stuff's worth, and you're not gonna like trick them or anything like you might do on another live selling platform. Like they know how to comp, they know what it's worth, and sometimes they may say I'm willing to pay full value because
But
I really want that. or
Also, a lot of
overvalue
pickers,
even.
whether they like it or not, they all collect something. So,
Oh, yeah.
there's pickers who, if you pull out, like, if somebody were to put up, like, I don't know, like some real Monsters in My Pocket toys or something, I might, want that. Like, there's certain things that we're all susceptible to.
Death Pile, yeah. Death Pile was in my auction bidding on my gremlins. I had some NECA gremlins, and they went over eBay.
Yeah, and
value.
that was because
Over
of what
eBay.
happened to him when he was a teenager, correct? Where he poured water on that little
On the Mogwai?
creature thing, and then it
Yeah.
turned into a gremlin.
Yes.
That was him.
Well,
right?
so he
I
was
buy-
bidding on my gremlins, Kevin, and he paid over eBay. And someone said to him, "Was like, whoa, you just paid over eBay." And he's like, "It was a matter of principle at that point. I needed to own them." And it's because he's a collector. He collects those things.
Well,
and sometimes
we called
people
that
get
in,
caught
when
up.
I used to do live auctions in Utah when I was an auctioneer. We used to call that pissing matches. People get in those.
Yeah.
They two people want it bad enough.
They don't
they'll
even
pay
mind that they
whatever it takes.
overpaid. It's the Seinfeld episode with JFK Jr. Was it JFK Jr.'s golf clubs? I can't remember, but Kevin used to watch Seinfeld probably.
Yeah, I
And,
don't remember that one though, vaguely.
What Kramer and I'm not going to go into it.
I buy some things on there to resell, and I've done okay on them. And then I buy stuff. I've probably bought a dozen things for my eBay cave in there. It's under construction finally, and I'm buying up things that I don't really collect, but I do a little bit for 80s stuff. So I find it fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that it's not for everyone. Should we see if I have any?
Well,
Here we
here we
go.
go.
Here's my comment. My comment of the day on my video today from Donita Coble 3952 is "You're an idiot." That's it. Just I like how concise it was. It was just "You're an idiot." I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty good. Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't include any of us and just you.
Yes.
I liked that
it's
part
just
of
me.
it.
I'm an idiot. Dave is an idiot. Yes. Yep. But yeah, Tina did her first polish and brush auction, Kevin,
Yeah.
and
Really
I
well.
bailed on her
did?
completely. I bailed
I
on
was
her completely.
surprised
'cause
going in there and it was
AC
just you.
guy
I'm like,
showed
oh my
up.
gosh, she's being
Yeah.
brave up there.
Well,
Doing
killed it.
auction.
The AC guy
Great.
shows up. He's supposed to like fix my AC, and he goes into the attic, and he comes down right as her show starts, and he's like, I have to show him where it is. He comes down, and he's like, you really should replace your ducting. We highly recommend it because you're gonna have much more energy efficient. It's got some cracks in it, and blah blah blah. And that's really the best bet here. And he gives me an invoice for $11,400, and I was like dealing with that. I was like, just leave. You're not helping me. Here's your $50 service charge. Can you go away now? It's working fine. But yeah, 11,000. Yeah. And so I was dealing with that. So I basically ditched on her auction, and then people were being weird pervs in her comments for the auction. And Callie was supposed to be reading the comments for her, which was not good. So I had to like emergency deal with that. Luckily, I got saved by Shane, who's a great mod, and Death Valley Finds, who's also a great mod, and they helped me out big time, removing a bunch of the nonsense and riffraff from the comments. So.
I got in there late. I saw Shane post. I'm like, uh-oh, what'd I miss?
Yeah.
I sold here's an example. So I'll buy stuff. If I buy one thing, I usually buy 6, and that's a key to this, y'all. Don't put your junk at the beginning. Put some good stuff at the beginning, because once people have bought something, they're much more likely to buy because they get the progressive shipping. Exactly. So I got a Sonic the Hedgehog Tiger game. I think I paid $2 for it, or $3 maybe. It sold for $16 in a week on eBay.
Wow.
But it's because it's if you're paying $5 shipping, it's not that great. But if you bought 10 things like that, then you're doing well.
Yeah. Well, and Carrie was saying a lot of people in my comments, I haven't seen these yet, complaining about me shipping once a week, Kevin, and saying it's bad for the customers. What's your response to that?
No, I don't want to be insulting. It's better for the customers financially. And how many people who are buying this stuff have to have a Harry Potter T-shirt in 7 days? They would. Yeah. I would personally, if I was a card guy, I'd wait a month for my stack of cards if I don't have to pay shipping every.
That's what people do. For sports cards, they use services like ComC, and they'll buy, and sometimes they'll even leave it, at the place and reprice it. But even if they're buying for themselves, they'll stack it up for months and wait till they have a big long box of cards and ship it all back at once. So it's very common in a lot of places.
But having said that, for the person who's making that comment, they're thinking in the mindset of eBay. They're thinking somebody bought one item and now they're waiting forever. Yeah, and there are some of those people. Right. Yep. So, just as long as if you tell people clear, and you do every time, this is the day I ship. If I ship on Friday and I sold it on Thursday, I'm shipping it tomorrow. If I sold it on Saturday, you're waiting a week.
Yeah.
Just about.
It's a benefit. I think it's a benefit of the platform. But let's not talk anymore about DibDit for a little while, Kevin. Let's talk about your eBay sales. Let's go into the world of eBay, and I'll tell you what I think I could have sold it for on DibDit. What is your big idea?
And then I'll say what I could have sold it for.
That's a great topic, because there are some things that are like I sold an Esprit. Remember Esprit, that old brand that what was the other one with it too?
Anyway, I was born in the 80s, baby, not the 30s.
I paid you don't remember? Oh yeah,
that's like a surf thing, isn't it?
Well, like no, it could be, but there were different little genres of it. But this one is a skirt, along with Guess, when Guess was really big in the very early days. I bought it for 25 cents at a sale with a ton of stuff, and it sold for 25. That was a long tail item. It was like an 8-month item. That thing would have been a hard seller on DibDit.
What is? How do you spell this? OSP?
ESESP RIT. Women's skirt, size 11, 12, green plaid. Yes.
It looks like E-Spirit. Is it really pronounced Esprit, or is it spelled pronounced E-Spirit? Listen, I think on DibDit Threads, down the road, when people do what Chris Flip the World has done, when we grow this thing, then he would have probably gotten, how much you get for it?
25.
He probably would have gotten $8. $8 to $12. I watched some of his auctions.
There are plenty. All right, here's another one. So this one had was this New Tags Eddie Bauer Ember Light Hybrid Vest, new with tags. That sold for $38. Now that's the kind of item that I think you get that mix of buyers buying for themselves and the resellers. Culture, it's those mix items that have a reseller value and a much higher value to the person who's going to use it. I think that item you get like $15-$20.
Well, Josh, Harry Tornado, tells me all the time that, he's like, oh, it's crazy. I'll sell a plush for $9, and I'll sell a 50 pair of boots for $3.
Yeah, Josh keeps messaging me on Instagram, just sending me different flavors, I think is what they're called, of soap. He doesn't send me any text.
You see his comment?
He just sends pictures and no context. It's been happening for weeks, allegedly.
He didn't sound happy with my soap comments last week.
I think honestly think it's awesome that he's doing it. That's cool.
Yeah, we're just teasing, of course.
We're just teasing, but the pictures are weird.
I actually have something in mind along those lines, and I'll probably look like a copycat. It's not soap, but it's something I've been talking about with a local person for quite a while. It won't be near that volume because I can't get that many of these. But what's that?
That's Spanish for soap.
Jamon is a kind of like meat. That's kind of gross,
jamon.
honestly.
Jamon, not jamon.
Jamon is ham. So if you're not careful, you could
comment?
order soap.
My eBay sales, Dave, you'll be happy to know, are down again, second straight week. Normally at this time when I sit down to do this podcast, I'm always looking at 30 as my number. 30, if it's more than 30, I'm like, yes. If it's less than 30, I'm like, eh. And it's at 24 for less than $1,000.
24 items sold?
So it's a bad weekend, yeah.
You're saying in how long? That's just a weekend.
Part of Friday, Saturday, and all of today, Sunday, until 10 o'clock. So it's not that great. That makes for about a $3,000 week, which is well under
3,000 gross.
Well, not well under, I guess. 2,800, 3,000. No, that's about right where I want to be. Is if I can get 1,000 in a weekend, that means it's about 3,000 in a week. That's 150,000 a year on eBay. So that's my goal. But I've been under. I was way under in January. If I just get to listing a little bit. I know it's fun to make fun of my soap, but it's actually doing really well. We've almost sold 1,000 bars in 5 weeks. Average profit $4 per bar.
So he's made like $400?
He sells them for a lot on his auctions. I was watching his auction. He was getting like $9 a bar.
He's doing good.
He's getting like $9 a bar. I don't know what it costs to make soap. You got to like get the
he
whale
just said
fat,
his profit margin
right?
was $4 per bar. So
but once they get it and their skin turns green, then where do they go? You know,
Whoa.
Do they go back for more?
I don't know. I feel like with this lighting, I could almost do like an unsolved mysteries kind of thing. Like if I just turned it a little bit more.
Dude, I vividly remember, unsolved mysteries, going over to my friend's house in California and like being scared to walk home. And I was on a cul-de-sac. I was like 2 houses down.
Kevin, better known as Commonwealth Picker, was a legend in the reselling community. His yard sale hauls were the stuff of eBay folklore.
But his second shed
the Commonwealth
had sinister purposes.
Treasures. Others overlooked. The one mystery remained unsolved, a whisper among fellow resellers, a riddle in the reseller forums. It started when Kevin posted a YouTube video titled $10,000 Mystery Find. He hinted at an item he picked up for a couple bucks, something so rare and so valuable that it could change everything. He teased the audience, flashing a blurred out object before cutting to another scene. I can't say too much yet, he grinned, but stay tuned. The next day, the video was gone. Deleted. No explanation. His followers bombarded him with questions. What was the item? Why did Kevin take the video down and never address it? Dodging inquiries with a laugh and a joke about eBay glitches, but among the reseller crowd, theories brewed. Some said it was a priceless antique unknowingly sold at a yard sale. Others believed it was something stolen, an item too hot to flip, maybe a rare prototype, a one-of-a-kind misprint. The speculations were endless.
This is getting worse.
Then, a week later, one strange thing happened.
I believe you're coming off the top of the dome
Picker
with this.
store had a single listing for $10,000 on his store. No picture, just titled Mystery Solved. It sold within minutes, and the buyer was anonymous, and Kevin never spoke of it again. There's the story.
So
there's the unsolved mystery, guys. What did Kevin sell for $10,000? Oh, no, it's
mystery deleted videos. So you've deleted videos in the past, and I've only
been
taken
deleting
one
a lot of
video
videos.
down, ever.
Why?
And then I reworked it. It was in the early days.
No, I'm slowly working towards deleting all my eBay reseller videos on my Flipper channel and just having it be the newest stuff.
Why?
Really?
Because I don't get any views. So how is that helping my channel to have a bunch of dead? Why delete old eBay listings that aren't getting views, but they're making your sell-through rate lower?
There's no reason on YouTube.
No, that actually is part of the algorithm. If you have a bunch of dead videos, just like on eBay, a bunch of dead listings that aren't getting any clicks, it actually hurts your sales on eBay. That's what people say. And the same thing works with the YouTube algorithm. If you have a bunch of videos that people don't click on, it's better to have them gone.
I'm not sure I buy
I had
it.
a
I'll have
long
to do a
talk
little
with my friend,
research.
Mr. GPT, about this, and it agrees with me.
Okay.
Mr. GPT says it
Well, the
could
problem
actually
is
help
you have
the channel.
videos that don't have don't have,
I have no
else
evergreen
to watch, Dave.
Yeah, I have no evergreen, and so on that channel,
I've been telling you that for years, dude.
It's not a problem.
Like your titles
I don't
have got
care.
to be.
I don't care about it. I'm just saying I think that I could help Dibdit and help the auction scene and the live seller flipper vlog type channel.
Are you going to
grow
change
if
the
I
channel
help
again?
the channel? I don't know.
Like Dibdit
ADH
Daddy,
Dave,
maybe?
Dibdits, Dibdit Dave, Dibdit Dave, and all the daddies.
Click on this
Dibdit
video.
Dave and the
Listen,
Dave
I'm always
daddies.
down. I'm doing all these experiments, so you don't have to, Kevin. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I tried the hour-long
I haven't
videos,
deleted
not
one
really worth it.
video. I took one down for a brief time and edited a tiny bit out, and then I put it back in. That was like, right when I started doing picker videos.
I
Delete your
deleted like
first
half of it.
video too. It'd be probably a good idea.
Yeah.
The hostage video, just delete that one.
It still gets views. Every time Carrie mentions it, I make like
I know.
12 cents.
There we go. Another 12 cents.
Here you go. 1 foot flipper. What do you think of this? I think almost everyone's problem with sell through is flipping that space, not flipping the money. I always have enough money to fill my entire area 10 times over. So,
Yeah.
what do you think of that? Do you understand that? The
Yeah,
space
I
is
mean,
an issue, right?
Sell
I'm
cards.
so
You could have a million
excited. Yeah.
cards
Yeah.
He does have
and
cards.
barely even fill up a half a
Carrie,
room.
the problem is cards are lame. This is what you keep forgetting when you bring this up.
Dibditcards.com.
Sports cards are cool,
There's
man.
an ad.
Sports cards are freaking cool, man.
Check it
They're
out.
in the top 50 marketplaces.
Dibdit
And they've been out
cards.
for what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Good.
It's growing, y'all. Go check it out. Especially if you're a buyer, you can get good deals right now.
I will listen. I just think that one of the biggest things I'm excited about is having empty shelves for the first time in 5 years. Just having
That would
empty
depress
shelves. It's
me.
like a fantasy for me. It's so exciting for me. How would it depress you? Oh yeah, you were talking in your
I
video
just
about
like
how
all
you're
that
like emotionally obsessed with your stuff. You got like
Nah, not
hoarder
really.
tendencies, Kevin.
Listen,
You got some
I-
hoarder
He
tendencies.
goes in and kisses items. He goes kisses,
He's like,
and then he goes to
"Wow,
another
wow,
item. He
wow."
goes,
just like you
kisses.
feel
Baby
when you go to
girl.
a theme park, that feeling you get,
Yes, joy.
the hustle and bustle and the cool stuff and the food and just that's when I go into my cabin. I like it. I like
So the
that
minimalist TV show didn't really work on you.
stuff. Well,
She's like,
in my
really anything that doesn't bring you
maximalist.
joy,
Yeah.
he just buys everything. He's like, "Oh, nothing.
goodness,
Everything brings
I
me
love
joy in here. Okay, so I don't know.
I always listen.
I get what you're saying, Kevin, about why you're whispering to yourself in an ASMR.
I was reading
way.
somebody's comment. I was trying to understand it.
I think we all love the stuff in a sense, but it also gets to that point where it's so much stuff that it's a burden, like an emotional and mental burden. And so I don't know. I think for everyone, there's a limit.
Me and Don in the last 3 years
100%.
have gotten rid of all our stuff twice when we moved to Vegas.
And did it feel
I mean,
good?
not all of it with it. Oh, it's amazing. Because it's a time to, it's basically what you're going to go through. Once you get rid of all your stuff, you're like going to be super excited, I think, because you're recalibrating how you're going to pick. You're changing to based on how you're selling now. Because right now you're confined to sell stuff that you did not buy with the intention to flip
Of live
fast
selling. Yeah.
live selling. So you're going to have some of these 10-hour pack days that in the future you can not have.
It was tough, man. It was tough. And my AC is not working in my garage.
I can't believe you didn't call Dawn over and be like, Dawn.
Dawn has
here you
offered.
go."
Dawn has offered. I want to feel the pain.
Your buyers would love it.
I want to
She
feel
gets
the pain.
compliments.
I want to kind of prove to myself that I can do this and get it all shipped out and see how long it takes. Because eventually I want to hire someone. And I want
What
to
do they call that?
understand.
People that like to feel pain.
Masochists.
Masochist, yeah. But I want to like see what it's realistically going to take me, because I don't necessarily think I'm the greatest shipper, but I am a very fast shipper, and I think like I ship about twice the speed.
Stuff
of
gets in a box or a poly bag. That's
and
as
it
much
generally
as you can
arrives
guarantee.
not broken. Generally, every now and then it breaks, but most of the time it gets there safely. And I kind of wanted to just see what it feels like before I eventually look for an employee, so I can understand how much money I'm talking. If I'm paying them X dollars, if it's going to take me 8 hours, it'll probably take them 14
You got
to
to have the
16.
numbers to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I got to know what it looks like, and so I
And
think
you also
it's
got to know how much your time is worth doing something else. That's the big thing I talk
Yep.
about. Like when I tell my wife, yes, I would love somebody to, weed eat my yard and to cut all the bushes back. She's like, you can do that. You don't have to spend that money. I'm like, yes, but I could be doing this, the opportunity cost Plus, it's hot in the summer, and I don't want to cut the bushes.
Well, and that's the same thing with you messaging every single person on Dibdit as far as opportunity costs. But I think there is value in that. I don't know if it's worth the time you're putting into it. I mean, I love
So
everyone.
if you talk to Ivan, Dave, this is me and Dave's contention in real time in public. I believe that this site is different than Whatnot because of these very same reasons. They feel part of a community. I message people all the time. They message me. It does take time. Eventually, I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't post.
No,
you know,
it's
alerts for
unscalable.
shows.
You need to find another way
it's
to
not.
do it. Yeah.
No,
But my point
maybe.
was literally you could potentially, I mean, I shouldn't say this on the show, but you could have someone that works for you go in there and say, hey, welcome to Dibdit on your account. And then they could come to you if the person had a very specific question or anything like that. And then, you know, again, it would just save you some time if it's just a basic hello message. You know, like that first message
for
could
sure.
be done by someone else.
Well, we've already
for
done that
less
a little bit. And,
money.
you know, Mike's jumped on board with a few things, and all these other people has just absolutely taken a load off my mind.
Yeah.
That are helping us in all these other marketplaces and are I mean, it's been huge for me. Speaking of Tim over the years, and he replied to my comment about, you know, I wouldn't go on Whatnot and say, hey, I'm never selling on here again. Everybody come over here. I might have been a little unclassy then on my last Whatnot, according to Kevin's standards. LOL. Apparently,
I went on my Whatnot and I mentioned Dibdit like once or twice. I said, I sell on Dibdit now too. I never did like a farewell or anything. I never closed that door. Carrie still sells on Whatnot. I don't want to go over there and just advertise my market constantly. I don't think that's.
I don't mention it. I don't mention. I just say like I make it
but
like
people
Voldemort,
might say
a
like
place that shall not be named.
There could be like a time, Carrie, where you go on and this happened to me. They're like, how come you don't do auctions anymore? And you're just like, okay, so every now and then I do them on Dibdit, just because people want to legitimately want to know. But in general,
well,
I just
you do that on your social media. But I had somebody message me the other day and said, they're like, you're such an idiot. You've been doing eBay for 25 years and you haven't moved people to your own platform. I'm like, no. They're like, the only reason I sell on eBay is to get people over to my Shopify. That's the only reason I do it. It's like they buy from me once on eBay and then they buy from me forever on Shopify. And you can imagine how they would do that, right? You know, they
a
would,
card in the package or something, maybe.
whatever, whatever
Yeah.
works. And I've seen people send stuff to me before, and it's like, hey, you could buy this from me, and you can buy it 10% cheaper if you just buy it on this platform. I don't know.
Don't you feel like
I
that
don't know
works
what
better if you're
eBay
hyper niche down though?
Oh, 100%.
It'll
Like
work
for
way
sports
better if
cards,
you're only
certain
selling
things, it
Hot
could work
Wheels.
well.
You know?
Yeah, it's 100%.
But if you're an everything
no doubt.
seller, it's a little hard. Like, hey, I know you bought this replacement New Wave oven tray, but if
you're
you
only
ever
selling
want
like
a
Lord of
plush
the Ring
popple,
action figure accessories only, just the arrows for
it's
Legolas.
just- I think it works better if you have your own like niche that you're super.
No, I totally
focused on.
agree.
So,
Yeah, no doubt.
Like Dibdit
95% of my items sold within 3 years. So we were having a debate about how many of your items don't
Yours?
sell. This is from Master Z something.
I don't know how to know that
95
information.
95% of my items sold within a year or 3 years. I'll tell you in a minute. Only been reselling for 3 years. I don't do death piles. If your item doesn't sell in 2 years, throw it away. And so apparently they throw away 5% of their items. Storing an item to hope it sells in 5 years is hoarding addiction, not business. I agree, but I don't agree. If you have the storage space and it's not a problem and your organization is fine, then it's who cares? But if the other things are not in place, then this person's right. Those items don't contribute to the business. They take away from it in every way. That's true. Lowers your ASP. Dead stock, waste of space.
Which is like
If you
my
have the
point I was
space,
making
then
with
you're not
my
wasting.
old dead stock videos that no
It
one
is-
watches.
yeah.
Kill them. Just kill
It
'em.
is true. If you have plenty of
That's
space,
faster.
then I mean, there's an argument if you're into it and you want to play that game to do the card thing where you have tens, 50, 60,000 cards. You can afford to have a card sit for 5 years if you have it on, two giant, 5-level shelves or whatever. But if you have the space, it really isn't a waste of space because you're
I
not
also
using it
think,
for
like,
something else.
It's.
Unless it's dragging your store down in other ways, which I think is pretty
fair.
valid.
I think one of the problems I had at the flea market today, and this was like kind of slowing me down as far as shopping, is trying to understand what it is like long term that I want to be selling. because I'm selling so much of everything, I'm still like struggling to figure out where I want to actually, where my wheelhouse should be. Because you can go to the flea market and you can find a bunch of great deals on glass and nothing else. Or you can go and you can find a bunch of great pop culture items. So I think my niche has to be larger than just like one thing. But I think
100%.
the biggest thing I was focused on today was just shipping size. That was like number one priority to me, was shipping size above all else. And so I mean, I guess
matters.
that's,
Listen,
yeah, size matters.
I would agree with you. I think that if I were you, I guess I'm giving advice, I would find items that I would find totally eclectic items, because the part of what draws people to your show is they never know what you're going to hold up next. And they can't leave because it might be what they want. You know, you might be selling this stuff. So you could do your niche down shows. They'd be much smaller in audience and they do fine. But I think if you're selling things, I think size is going to be the big differentiating point. Glass wouldn't bother me if it was small.
Yeah, like
Wouldn't
a
bother me at
little
all.
Fenton bird, sure. Why not?
Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all.
Paperweights, things like that, easy
But
peasy.
those big old MCM
Giant
things
vases,
that Dawn
no,
gets,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Dawn
I'd
loves
keep it
big stuff.
eclectic, because you get to keep everybody in that audience on the edge of their
guys-
seat. I know I am.
You didn't know Dawn when she had a physical brick and mortar store, and we were driving down the road with stuff out the windows, right? And then we'd find stuff on the side of the road and then we'd take that and then take something out of our car and replace it because we didn't have enough room for the new item we found.
Dawn was funny on the way back from the flea market today. She's like, "Is that a free blow mold on the side of the road?" I'm like, "Dawn, that's a gravestone."
Thought it was a blow mold gravestone.
She's like, "I need to put my glasses on."
Hey.
That's pretty funny. I love it.
Yeah,
I don't know. We limit ourselves on eBay to some degree. I was at a sale and I bought these. Remember the birds that Don? Or no, it was from Mike. It was Death Pile Picker. These 48-inch seagull MCM plastic birds, and Mike got them in Tennessee or something at the 20s, or Kentucky, and I ended up with them. I'm like, thanks a lot, Mike, appreciate it. And I sold them for $60. Well, I saw another set at the flea market, and I'm like, how much you want? She's like, $4. And I said in the video, I was like, I wish you'd have said 20, so I could have said no. And it just happened to be that particular color, so they go for over 100, and so I was like, I wasn't gonna pay, and so they were slamming me like, you wouldn't give her $20 for that. I'm like, first of all, she didn't ask for it, but no, I wouldn't have. It's a pain in the butt. 48 inches, that's huge.
At the same time, like, that's too big, but I am gonna have like a Kev pile, I think, where I buy the stuff that I don't want to put on auction, and just like when you come down, I'll be like, Kev, that's the pile.
Gosh.
What are you taking? Hey, Kevin, this is an important question from Cricker Stuff over on Patreon. He said, when will Kevin merge Shop Commons into the Dibdit conglomerate and give Dave and Carrie ownership? It's a great question, Kevin.
Yeah. You give up so
I
much,
have to
Kevin.
protect
Dibdit
my own
Commons.
interests.
Dibdit Commons.
Because the bigger Dave gets, the bigger cooking daddy gets, the more I can't say that on here.
Well, listen, Kevin.
You know what they say when you have enough money to say whatever you want to say? You ever heard that? What is
I've
that?
heard of that, yeah.
Certain kind of money starts with an F.
Any
Anyway,
y'all money?
that's where Dave is getting, right? He's getting to that point,
That
and it's
channel's
hard
dying.
to take.
Dave, much like
Whatever, dude. You had
Kevin,
one bad video.
I had
Dave
3 bad videos.
might
They're
get to the
evergreen,
point.
Dave. They're evergreen. The
Dave
other
might get to the
videos
point,
are
Carrie.
huge.
Go
Go
on.
ahead, Carrie. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. But Dave might get to the point where he's going to need a person like Kevin needs, right? Marcus Aurelius, you remember him, right, Kevin? He was one of your boys back in the day.
Yeah.
He used to say, there's a quote of him that
philosopher
he
king.
needed, yeah, he needed a person behind him at all times to say, "You're only a man."
That's
You're
right.
only a
Well, no,
man.
that was Caesar. Caesar needed
No,
that.
that was E2 Brutus or something.
Cricker
No.
Stuff also asked me if my Dibdit progressive shipping
Et tu,
model
Brute.
is costing me a lot of money. I'd bet that
What
shipping
is?
cost, if
Shout
my
out the person who told
progressive
me that quote
shipping
today.
method, is it
is
costing me a lot of money, was the question.
I don't.
That's what he said.
Well, you can always adjust, but I bet you're making. This is the beauty of you give pretty cheap shipping.
I give
comparatively
very
to some
cheap
other
shipping,
sellers.
and so it's...
And I bet
yeah.
you're still making a little bit.
It depends on the item, or the
You'll lose
the
some and
buyer.
win some.
Yeah, it's like you lose some, you win some. So like, there's someone named Rod who bought like $600 worth of stuff from me this last week, and it cost
And
me
we'll drum her
$75 to ship his order. and I don't think he gave me that much in shipping. I think he probably was closer to 40 or 50. So I probably lost like 30, but how much more did he bid because my shipping was so cheap?
That's the
so
thing.
It's
That's
kind of
That's what I'm
And
doing
it's
on
the
cards.
initial bidder.
I'm doing $2.99 on cards, which is less than it cost me to ship a card because I'm not doing standard envelope. It's like $4.50, and then I'm doing free shipping after that.
Yeah.
For the whole week. So the whole thought is they're going to buy more or they're going to compete with each other, and the cards are going to go for more. And I'll make up
Yep.
the shipping money on the cards going for more money.
Yep.
That's the
That's
idea.
it.
yeah,
100%.
We'll get some deals. That's awesome.
They underestimate the value of getting 2 or 3 buyers, different buyers, in the first 5-10 minutes of a show because
it's so
they're really incentivized
shipping.
with that dollar.
I was telling
And
Carrie
so,
like
don't
my
put out your
goal.
junk first.
My goal is think about it this way. Okay, so someone was selling, very nice person. She runs great shows, but she was selling Hot Wheels tonight, and it was $6.15 for the first Hot Wheel to ship it. They were not like fire Hot Wheels. They were Hot Wheels, a lot of them that you'd find for $3 free shipping or $3 plus shipping on eBay, right? So you're on Dibdit, and it's a $1 auction, but it's $6.15 shipping. It means you're paying $7.15 for a Hot Wheel you weren't really planning on buying. And what happens when you start off the show with that is you get a lot of no solds. No sold,
Yeah,
no
it's
sold, no
discouraging.
sold, no sold. It's discouraging, and it kills your whole show. So what I've been doing is I try to start with
$4.99
items. Well, there's options, right? You could do cheaper shipping, or what I do is I just start with $40, $50 items. Here's an item. Here's a Scotty Cameron putter that sells for $180.
Once you've
and the
unlocked
shipping is $8.
aggressive shipping, you'll throw in you'll bid $3 on a Hot Wheel because it's $4 all in to have.
Right, so
or
you maybe
$3
paid
all in to
$8
have.
or $12 for that $200 golf club, but that was a drop in the bucket because you only paid $120 for a $250 golf club, and yeah, you also paid $12 shipping. But now every other item you buy that whole day maybe only has $1 or $2 shipping, and then you're bidding on all the Hot Wheels because it's only $1 plus $1. That's $2.
Yep.
Bid, and then you
Long
get 4
story
people
short,
there.
Now they're paying.
You've got
flea
people at
market
$4
prices, right?
per Hot Wheel, which is great.
Yeah. 'cause
You
they're
know, so
paying
you got to
nothing in
start off
shipping
with the
after that.
fire. You really do.
Yep.
You know.
Or at least the middle of the road
super cheap
because it's
shipping.
hard. Listen, if you're gonna, because I think the best auctions are the ones that start at $1, right? And if you're gonna start off with fire and put it at $1, and there's 8 people in your show, that's why I say middle of the road for some people. Do
I can
some
start with the
decent
fire
items
because I'm
first.
gonna
You
get
can start
I'm gonna
with
get
the
it.
fire.
But I also never here's another strategy, guys, and maybe this would be good for whatnot sellers too. I generally don't sell anything for the first 3 to 4 minutes at all. I just talk because it takes
I do,
time for
but you
people to
gotta
get
be
notified
entertaining.
and to come over and to see that the show is live and things like that. And if Kevin's gonna push
That's
your show, it
death
takes
to
him
an
time.
auction if it's in the middle of.
I
an
just
auction.
have
You gotta
I
do it at
have
the
my
beginning.
card on one of these stands, and I'll start the first 2 or 3 minutes talking about the giveaway, and I'm giving away the card on the stand. And I
Yeah.
let people come into the auction. Then I give away that card, and then right after that, I give away a second card, and then I start the auction. I mean, I start another 5-minute giveaway. Then I start running auctions.
Yeah.
And
That's how I
giveaways
do
are
it.
tough. And here's something I'd say is, if you give away 10 things and you're shipping those out, you might be losing money. You guys got to be careful, strategic. People, buyers don't expect to give away every 5 minutes. They're
do
good to get
15.
followers. You need followers, but yeah. But
I do every
what I'm
5
saying is other.
I do
people,
15
right?
minutes. My giveaways are 15
right,
minutes
right,
is
right.
my point. But you could do them every 30 if you wanted to. Like you don't
Dude,
need to
I
do
just
them all the
sold a
time.
bag. I sold a coat. I bought this in Florida, Dave. I bought this at the sale. I was with Rod and Mike that day, and it was a Coach bag. And she had like $20 on her Coach bag. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. But I saw this funky one, and I got it for $15. It sold for $100 plus shipping. I love Florida. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
I guarantee nobody owns that in Bedford, Virginia. Nobody. Not
Nah,
one
nobody even owns the bag. Is that your sale? What's your sale of the week, Kev? Let me and Carrie guess what you sold it for.
That
Like
might be
a
it.
big money one. A big money one.
I'll give you. There ain't many. That might be the biggest. Oh, not of the week. I'm just looking since Friday. I could look
Okay.
back, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna pull these. So I'll give you one here that you might. This would be interesting. I think I got this one off of Dawn. I'll give you a different one. See what you know about silver. So this is a sterling silver 925 navy ring. Just a normal. I think it's
Okay.
cut in the back for sizing purposes. Just
Yeah.
a sterling silver navy ring.
Well, you probably got about $79.99.
I'm gonna guess like 40.
$49.95.
Yeah, Carrie's dealt a lot
So
more in precious metals
those-
than me.
those are I also have a Mormon ring that I got to sell. I haven't sold it in forever, and that's gold. But silverweight, that's nothing. That goes for way over silverweight because somebody wants an Old Navy ring for some reason. But there's tons of those out there. So the value.
I was thinking of this cup that we have
high.
in my house. That was my grandpa's. That says David Owen, and it's silver. And I remember looking up its value, and it was like $250. And I was like, well, the ring's a lot smaller
heavy.
than that. So maybe
You wanna
80.
guess
I guess
this
I
one,
should
guys?
have
Yeah.
made it even
We
smaller.
got one.
Heavy silver.
Don had a pretty good one. We've had this for a
One
while.
ounce of silver, $30 ish.
So Don sold this on eBay.
Oh, I remember her buying that.
2 days
Wait a
ago. We bought
Yeah.
this years
Yeah.
ago, though. So it's
Oh,
like
that's not the
like
one
an
I'm thinking of.
'80s. It's like an '80s. Like it says Venom. It's
I've
like
seen
an
those
'80s 's
before.
Yeah, it's like something that would have been
Those
at
go
Spencer's.
well.
Yeah, what
Those
do you guys
go
think
well.
it went for?
I'm gonna say $100.
Did it come with the hand
I've seen those.
With the hand? What do you mean?
in the picture? It's got a hand included.
I think it was exclusive
No
to
hand.
Spencer's, wasn't it?
70
might have
bucks.
been.
I remember those hanging in there.
70
It probably
bucks.
was a Spencer's item. It seems like it. 140. It was an offer too. Don had it at 200.
And it's how big? About this
It's a
big?
necklace. Is
So-
that a necklace?
It's a necklace.
$30
Yeah, it's a
shipping?
necklace.
Wow,
It's just
that's
like
crazy.
like a I don't know, something hardcore,
Okay.
heavy metal kind of thing from back in the day. Iron Maiden.
Cowtown
Yeah.
Picker. Since Dibdit is now America's favorite place to shop, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Nice.
Allegedly.
I have a question. I work full time and do reselling as a part time gig. This reduces my opportunity to do live selling. 100% true. Is it possible to be successful on district with just static sales? Yes. No. A little. Successful, well, what's your merit of success? Like, what's your measure of success? Sell something every couple of days? Yeah. Maybe a couple
No.
weeks. If you put
All
on
right,
great
come on.
stuff on Dibdit for cheap, on Buy It Now or Commons,
I'm not, listen, if you're going to, I don't advocate people go list everything on district. Not yet. I just don't.
No.
I don't
I don't
think
list
it's
anything
there.
Buy It Now on there.
I
on any market.
selectively list, and the ones I selectively list are tailored to that marketplace, and they're good, and they're at a good price, and I've done okay. But maybe, I don't know, sell-through rate, I don't know. I've probably listed 100 things statically, and I've probably sold 40 of them, and they've been on there for a long time. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that.
The killer-
Commons is pretty good static
Yeah,
listings. if
that
you
actually
put
is.
prices.
I've sold pretty
the
much
best
everything. I think I've sold everything I put on Commons, and I priced it pretty aggressively, having done this for years and kind of figuring what I thought the price would be to move it. But I think if you're only doing it once in a while, right? The cool thing, like one of the killer features of Dibdit is if you have cool stuff and you're on a time that there's maybe not a lot of competition, you'll get some people in there. And if you're selling cool stuff and if you paid it, low enough to where you can run it, I think you don't have to be doing it consistently to have success. Whereas Whatnot, like, you have to be consistent to build that following. At least I know I did. It took me
I think
a long time to be consistent there.
I don't know how well people do on Whatnot with the static Buy It Now stuff, but I think it will at least be that good at some point or better.
Whatnot's
Because
better
like,
at the
yeah.
moment, I believe.
you can
Can
pull
you-
your items into your stream too, and maybe give
You
them
can do that on
a
Dibdit, though,
discount
too, as
really
well.
quick.
Yeah.
Pull them in there, and if it's like 25, you're like, hey, I'm gonna put 18 on it if somebody wants it now. And the key to it is you have people in your auction who have already bought, and so you pull in a static listing that somebody would pay the shipping on, and now they're only paying $1 extra, and so they'll snap it up.
Can you shed some light on Ohio's auctioning law? Because I had someone tell me they can't sell on Dibdit because of Ohio's auctioning laws. Do you know anything about this, Kevin?
Yeah, but every time I say it, I get yelled at. I would maybe
really?
you can ask Cincinnati Picker, who's in Ohio. You'll
What if
probably
we
have a
ask
few choice
ChatGPT?
words for it. I think it's dumb. Has anybody heard of any prosecutions going on across the country about this? And some people will probably say yes and whatever. They're coming after whatever. There is. It's like Uber and the whole Uber versus taxi thing and whatever. When there's overwhelming public support for something like this, and they're on these sites, I mean, people say you can't auction something off on eBay like over a week period if you live in Ohio. I'm like, dude, no, they're not coming after people. Having said that, I don't write the law and I'm not a DA, so.
Let's see what ChatGPT says. In Ohio, an auction license is required if you're conducting auctions in person or online, where you're selling goods as a business. The Ohio Department of Agriculture oversees the licensing of auctioneers and auction houses. If you're selling on Whatnot or any similar auction platform, you're acting as an auctioneer. You might need to obtain a license. However, if you're simply selling items from your personal collection,
there you go.
or as an individual seller without the intention of running a formal auction business, an auction license might not be required.
All right,
that's
so
a lot
there
of
you go.
gray area.
Here's how I interpret that. If I was in Ohio, I would not be taking stuff from other people, selling it, and then giving them the money. I would buy it off of them, and I would own it. It's my personal collection. That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
It's your-
well, that's
your
what I'm
stuff.
saying. You could. It's all how you. It is all my
100%.
personal stuff that
Yeah.
I'm selling. So it is.
If
That's
you
what I'm
were-
saying. There's a lot of gray area on that. I feel
Yeah.
like. I mean, I'm no legal person, but that seems like.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the regulatory state where they if you
From
cut
what I
grass, you need
understand
to have a
about that
license.
law, from what I understand about that law, because I've researched it before, is that there was an auction house in Ohio that I think they were sick of somebody putting stuff on high bid instead of them, and he was a big time, like in the auction, what do they call it, association,
Gatekeeping,
and he
that's what they
pushed,
call it.
he pushed that legislation through. As a lot of people do with legislation, and that's what.
So the real question is, why do you have to have auctioneers? Why do you have to do all that stuff before? Because there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on. We see it. I mean, we're trying to protect Dibdit. We don't want, people selling nudes and cussing all the time and doing whatever on our site. And I think that's the way we should go, because the alternative, a lot of people have run from. Not that everybody does that over there, but...
Clever Find says, are there plans to do more theme days on Dibdit similar to the Wednesday card shows?
I think I'll give my
could be.
opinion, and then Dave could give his opinion. I think, and Carrie, I don't know about cards, if you'd want to do something like that, but I think for me, we got to launch these other things and grow them and grow everything, and then it'll allow sellers who sell the same stuff to get together and say, hey, we want to do this. We might not have anything to do with it. Right,
Well, and they were already doing that on Dibdit, weren't they?
Yeah.
Essentially, they're already doing that sort of stuff where
But
they
we've
set
got
up their
away
own
from
raid
it
trains.
because anybody can go live at any time, which causes some trouble.
But hold on. Can't anyone go live at any time while there's also a raid train
Yes,
going on?
I agree.
In the same place? That's what I'm
100%.
saying. Think of great Whatnot
they'll-
sellers like Deb Latre who would have a clothing auction. Doesn't mean that Philly Flipper has to do a clothing auction that day. She could raid all the other clothing resellers. So I don't know.
Right,
I think
but if there's 4 people live on Dibdit and they're selling different things, it's okay. If they're all selling plush or they're all selling glass or they're all selling whatever, it's going to divide the audience.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, I'm super ADD, so I was watching 3 auctions tonight, just switching back and forth between items. Literally, I would go in and pre-bid and stuff. I'm a crazy person, though.
It's 10:48 p.m. right now Eastern, and we've got 3 people on there. It's interesting.
What's
Selling-
it? $80,000 in sales this month so far? Is it something like that, or in the last 30 days?
Yeah, I think we
crazy.
broke
We're gonna break
a
100,000.
$250,000
in February.
lifetime, I believe.
It's becoming a real
recently,
platform
too.
you can sell on, people. For real.
Well, I told you,
we
if you
actually have
remember.
a platform you can sell on.
Oh my gosh, I gotta get. Well, I won't toot my.
Remember when I
I'll
was
just
trying
say
to get you to take it serious last year, Kevin?
Yeah.
Remember that? Those discussions we had?
Remember that time where it wasn't working at all till I
Remember.
tried? Remember?
Oh,
Remember,
no,
Kevin?
that is not true. See what I mean?
Remember when you failed for months, Kevin?
Remember, Kevin?
You're gonna get me.
Remember?
My head's gonna explode.
Come on.
Well,
I
told you guys, I'm gonna make it
Kevin
work.
time to focus on
And
comments.
listen, I said I'm gonna make it work, and then eventually Dave's gonna come on, and it's gonna work better than it did the last time on Whatnot, and then he's gonna stick it out, and then it's gonna. And I will give Dave
Kevin's-
credit. Let's face it, he put this thing over the top with this decision. There's no.
But
doubt about
what Kevin really can take credit for is annoying me with his comment sales to the point where I had to actually start trying. So I don't like Kevin making all this common sales nonsense.
You got to know how
It's
to
no
tweak
good.
Dave.
Yeah,
how
it's
you
pretty
get Carrie
easy
to
to
do
get me
something is
going.
way different than Dave. It's easy with Dave.
I don't know how you get Carrie to do something. Shame him. Shaming him helps, actually.
Shaming works.
Little shaming, light shaming.
You got to admit, Dave has a bit to do with it, I feel like. If Dave takes something, and now that I'm in Florida so close, if Dave's doing all these auctions, it inspires me.
basically he
closer,
doesn't respect
Kevin.
me.
No, it's just
But
you're
he
farther
does
away,
that.
and you're not also doing lives like Dave is right now.
So
Dave
all
got
my-
into it. Yeah.
All my little screenshots of you made 41 cents in the last hour didn't help you?
Hour.
No,
it was like 3 days.
Do you know what it? You know what it was? I
This
think
week
it
you
was
made
like
42
it was
cents.
just little things that kind of paved the way for me to kind of, for whatever reason, things don't work with me or a lot of people until it clicks. And at some point, like 3 months ago, it clicked,
Look,
and I'm like,
I'll be
I'm
honest.
all in on it now. I really am.
Carrie is about the here and the now. That's how you've lived your whole life. You know, how do I get enough money for my bean burrito?
Yep.
Right?
Seriously.
And
Rice
and I'm
and bean
about
burrito
10
now.
years from now.
On the
I've never been good at the 10 years from now. I think I will get that way, hanging out with you enough, but I'm not there
I
yet.
said about 2 months ago on here that I think the marketplace would be either. I said there's no doubt it's going to hit 500,000, and it might hit $1 million. I'd be shocked. I'd be more shocked if it didn't hit 500,000 than $1 million. We're gonna. I mean, cross our fingers.
this year.
I mean, Dave's going to sell
sales.
250,000 or whatever you're going to sell.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to go well over $1 million, I think. All things.
Kevin,
work
I know
out.
you want to talk about you. It's your favorite thing. But I want to talk about our amazing Patreon members who support
I
us
love
at
them.
the wealthy as a Kevin tier
I
or
have a
just
higher.
like
I
him.
want to talk about.
And let me just tell you how amazing these people are. Every single one of these people is amazing. Like, more amazing
Each
than
one.
Carrie in a bathtub. That's how
And that's
amazing
pretty
they are.
good.
Carrie's
That's like an 8 out of
bathwater
10.
is available for sale if anyone's interested.
Carrie's
I'm pretty sure I drank it at the restaurant we had lunch at today.
It's on Dipped It Bathwater
It was
right now.
interesting flavored. Picks by Tyler, Gem Flipper, Who Ate My Chips, Buff and the Stuff, Alexandria Picker, Jake
Oh
Ryder,
my gosh.
CJ Benz Finds, The
J-Ride.
Flipper Skipper, Lady Arbitrage, No Nose Pickers,
I love
Brian
her.
Sempor Beal, Mike Camparelli, Vintage Sports Flips,
Metco.
PulseMerch.com, Raise Heck Resell,
Who's
and Logan
Merch.
Murky. All of these people get to enjoy our
miss you,
secret
Logan.
episodes. Our secret episodes, guys, are so good. They have no Kevin. Sometimes they have
can't
Kevin,
even
but
tell
that's
you
a
what
detriment
happens
when
in
they
them.
have him. They're fantastic. If you want to see the inner depths of our minds, you need to
That
subscribe
one time
to
we
Patreon.
just tased each other. Oh my gosh.
Dude, oh my gosh, right in the
We didn't do that. We didn't do that. That was a joke. Don't sub for that.
We teased each other a little.
Oh my
A little
god.
teasing. Okay, Kevin, what were you saying? I know you were talking about you.
Oh, I wanted to give an eBay tip for people, but I know you guys
All
don't
right,
care.
let's do the segment. Just the tip featuring
Just
the
a tip,
Commonwealth.
go,
ahead.
featuring the locker room.
Wait a minute, before I do that, did you guys get what Dave paid for without permission for the Trash to Cash podcast? Your demotivational
We got
speech?
demotivated by Mike Deathpile, yeah.
Do we have
wasn't
to
great.
skip through to the?
It wasn't great.
What is their cut? Reseller leftovers?
Reseller-
Isn't it just the thing he kind of
leftovers.
stole from me?
That's not good.
Yes.
Yeah, he stole it from you, but he did it worse. You didn't
Yeah.
think about
I
that?
sped it up in double time, and it was excellent in double time. Like,
Really?
good.
Okay.
I was impressed. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is good.
Are you going to play it? Is that what you're doing? You're about to play it
No,
back?
Can we
no,
play it?
no,
Let's
no,
play
no.
it. I didn't see
I
it.
don't have
Not the
access
numbers.
to that sort of technology. It's out there,
So-
though. Go listen to the show.
All right, eBay tip of the week, just a tip. All right.
gotta
Okay,
say,
so
guys,
this is I gave a
that it's
tip
hard
on my
anymore.
videos the other
That's what she
day. Look, I picked up an item,
Limp tips with Kevin. Go ahead.
a questionable item, but I looked at the listings that were selling for like $20, and it was like two. It was a picnic, a 1970s retro picnic stacking carrier. And I'm like, and I said on my video, I was like, I'm gonna buy this because these listings all suck. And I took it and I took everything out of this picnic set and I set them all up and I made the picture much bigger instead of just the little canister that everything was in. And I sold it for more money than everybody else quicker. There you go.
How much?
So make your pictures nothing. $28.45, but it was only a $20 item. So I see
nice
these
flex.
people with this big picture and the item looks this big in the middle of it.
So what's your keys
Crop your
to
picture.
a good picture?
So
There you go.
Kevin is
crop
saying he
your
has
picture
years of
down.
practice of making things look bigger than they are in real life in photos.
crop it.
He's been practicing.
Dude, if you guys knew the crap I got behind the scenes, I should like share some of these texts and
What are you
requests
talking
from
about?
Dave.
We don't do anything. Requests?
Requests.
What am I
Yes,
requesting?
requests.
What?
Gosh, no, I want to know.
I won't share it.
Tina takes my phone a lot, so I don't know what she's
Yeah,
sending
well,
you.
no, one of them was directly from Tina. I'd be more
let's see.
concerned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Either that or you took her phone, which is probably more likely.
Dude, you know what was encouraging?
You're from
though?
the 80s. You're used to a little bit of bullying. You used to drink from the water hose, right? Directly.
Mm-hmm.
Turner asked
You
me
know,
if I've ever been in a fight before.
And have you?
In case.
Have you?
I've been in, other than my brother, I've been in one fight, just one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I was in 8th grade.
I was encouraged when I saw the Polish and Brush show tonight. I thought that was pretty cool. I think there's like a legit platform for makeup enthusiasts.
That was
I was
WSC. They
pretty
brought
impressed,
their
yeah.
own people. They getting your own followers, guys. It's not just
Big
like
deal, yeah.
I go live on Dibdit and I'm going to have an audience. You're going to have an audience, but it's the same thing. The thing that makes people successful in live selling isn't necessarily the platform. Same thing with eBay, right? If eBay works for this dude, but it doesn't work for this dude, what's the problem? eBay or this dude?
So someone asked over on the Trash to Cash comments, they said, to sell live on Dibdit, does it need to be pop culture?
No.
Well, no.
I don't believe so, right?
It does statically. Buy it now
Static,
needs
yes.
to be.
Well, they said
Now,
live.
I
To
will
sell
say-
live, they said.
But I will say that those things will do better
Yeah, if
because
you're-
that's who the audience was built
if you're
I
on.
out
don't
there
know,
selling
man.
like
Friggin-
hand towels, you're going to struggle probably.
It depends. I'm learning, and I will inform you guys of what I learned. But some things that do great would be Fenton glass. I mean, I think there's just a big glass market on District as a whole,
Coins are doing terrific.
and
I was
coins
selling
do
silver the other
amazing.
day.
I think on Dibdit, obviously, pop culture does great. I would say diecast
$100 bills
diecast
consistently
cars,
going for $75 to $80.
diecast motorcycles, diecast the Pixar cars. Pixar cars do great on there. If you have a bunch of sealed Disney Pixar cars, those do great on Dibdit. Like there's just
I
random
sold-
niches that there's a lot of collectors in there.
I sold a little tub full of Thomas the Train stuff on Commons the other day, and there were more valuable lots that I sold than that one, but that one went for more than all of them.
So here's
'Cause
the
the
thing:
audience-
we started Dibdit as pop culture only, but people that pick like us, we have a little of everything, and so we kind of said, you know what? Let's make the lives a sell anything kind of situation, like a whatnot. You can put whatever you want up there. You may or may not do better on certain categories, but we still keep, like Kevin and Carrie were saying, the static buy it now
curated.
as pop
It's
culture.
curated.
It gives the store optically a very appealing look. It goes with the theme of the store and things like that. People may follow the market, and if people follow the market that are just buyers, they're more likely to come to your auction. And if it's a messy, sloppy market with a little bit of everything with terrible pictures, they're less likely to follow your market, less likely to see you live.
That's also why we started these other Dibdits as well, and Polish and Brush and these things, because if we can create a niche for those those things are going to do great over there, and it allows more space for the people who are doing pop culture and different things that aren't in those other spaces.
Yeah, and clothes do well on Dibdit right now, but Dibdit threads, we've realized that, like, there's so many people that love clothes and only clothes, and a lot of people
And they
who hate
only sell on
clothes.
Poshmark. Yep.
Yeah.
And so separate them and then find the right audience, and you'll get people the same. When I look at those thread shows, the ones that have done well, it's like 4 buyers buying every single item. They're buying all of it. So it's interesting to see. But knives,
Mike
Dave,
said-
you did good with knives.
Mike said, I do great with knives and tools on there. Mike said, I'm 100% sell-through rate on Dibdit right now. If it doesn't sell the first time, I restart the item. No next item till it sells. Hashtag
That's right.
never surrender. The other option would
he
be
does
to
that.
bundle
It's
it.
funny.
You could bundle it.
Keep
You could
adding
bundle it.
items. Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Yep.
bundle it. That's another.
I
What I do with
Mike,
cards
you
often-
let them hold you hostage.
What I do with cards, or either I'll give the card away at some point in that auction or future auction, or I'll just add it to another card. Maybe it's the same team or the same player, and just give them added value. It'll.
Toxis Chazmat said, I respect Carrie for defending Dave in the comments. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for defending
I
me in
did
the
too.
comments.
Give me some
Well,
credit.
they only respect Carrie.
Hey, that was the criticism we got, was that real friends would tell him he was making a mistake. And my argument,
Even
back
if he
to
wasn't
the
making a
comment-
mistake?
Exactly. It's like, if he was making a mistake,
That's
I would
implying
tell
that
him
we
he was
think
making
he's
a mistake.
making a mistake. Yeah, if we thought he was making a mistake and we weren't telling him, I don't think Dave's making a mistake, because he could simply turn eBay back on, list stuff. We've all done it. I've done it many times where I've had next to nothing on eBay and started relisting stuff. It's not
I
that
can't
difficult.
imagine that. That blows my mind, y'all.
Toxic Chazmat asked if Dave really watches Counter-Strike. Yes, I watched it this morning at
Dude,
5 a.m.
Dave,
I was watching
were you?
a match this morning. Yeah, PGL.
Dave's so into
Cluj-Napoca is going on
I don't
right
think
now.
we talked too much about this, did we? The fact that you
FaZe
don't
Destroyed
play
is
Counter-Strike. That's
No,
weird
I
to
don't
me.
play it at all.
You don't
Yeah.
play it. You just like watching it.
It's
That's
a great
absurd to me.
It's a great entertaining thing to watch.
No, I
don't
get
know
it's
what to tell you.
entertaining. I get it. I just can't imagine following it and getting into it without wanting to play it afterwards. It
you
doesn't
don't play
pump you up and
football?
go, I want to go play.
You don't play football?
No, but I want to. If I'm
watch
watching
the
like
Super
Madden
Bowl?
YouTube, if I'm watching
Yeah.
NBA 2K YouTube, I want to go play 2K.
Oh, you think because it's a video game specific?
Because I want to go get into it. I'm like, I want to do that.
But it's not a video game to me, Carrie. It's a sport. Roast me in the comments.
Oh my gosh.
And so it's cheerleading. Take that,
cheerleader.
Haters. Haters gonna hate.
Hey, sold some plates.
No hate
that a while.
meant, but I do enjoy falling asleep to Commonwealth Picker videos.
All right.
I think he must mean Flipper videos. Kevin's like, all right, turn on autoplay. Let it keep rolling all night, baby.
Autoplay and go to sleep, baby. Give me that 8 hours
Guys,
of
can we
playtime.
just get like, and me and Carrie are going to talk about this in the secret episode. Carrie, you need to catch up. This is your job. We want the Severance talk, the Severance Apple TV show. We want people to watch that and come over to the secret episode. We're going to discuss it in the next episodes. Carrie, it means you've got to watch like 4 episodes tonight because you're behind.
Wait,
I
when are
don't
we
watch
doing
much
the-
TV.
When are we
I don't know,
doing-
sometime
did
this
watch
week, maybe Thursday or
Beast
Friday.
Games.
You got some time. Beast
Yeah,
Games
have
I
you
did
watched-
not watch. It looks stupid.
I
What is
I
it
don't
called?
watch
What?
much TV.
Rosanna
and I don't-
Pansino told me Mr. Beast is mean. So I
I
can't
certainly
watch it.
don't watch that stuff, but I watched it because my kids were, and I actually got into a TV show for the first time that wasn't made in the 1970s.
It was the
You know,
Mr. Beast
I was
one?
watching.
I didn't
yeah,
catch what it was.
it's
Oh,
the
Beast
Beast
Games.
Games on Prime TV or whatever.
It's
Yeah,
psychology and human. I just liked it. It was good.
yeah, and it's funny because all the Gen Xers are like, "Devil may care, screw everyone," and then all the Gen Zers are like, "How come everybody's so mean?" Why are they all taking the money for themselves? And all the Gen Xers are like, screw
And
you guys, I want
millennials,
the
what do we do?
500K.
We're just doing the
Well,
Harlem
yeah,
Shake, right?
They,
Is that
lean
what we're
towards
still
the
doing
Gen.
that?
They lean towards the Gen X behavior more than the Gen Z.
It's funny to look at my kids' opinions, and my wife
Yeah.
is younger than me too, right? So it's like everybody has this different.
No, it's disappointing to look at
Psychology.
your kids' opinions and realize they're so
No.
soft. It's like, yeah, why
No,
are you so
not
nice,
Reagan.
kids?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, really? Reagan's mean?
Oh,
My kids
Reagan's
are
like,
too
I'd
nice.
take the million. I'd take
Yeah.
the million. I'm like, all right.
No, I
Yeah, you get
just,
to the end of the show and you don't have the million. You're thinking like you're pretty dumb.
Well, who was it? Someone was talking about the odds. Like, just if you just use it like logical odds,
Yeah,
it almost always makes sense to take the smaller amount of money. Like, so Carrie, they'll
This
do
is
this thing
why
like
Squid
you can
Games
take,
is so entertaining. That's why I love
can-
about Squid
yeah.
Games. The element that you
take
can leave the
500K.
game at any time.
You can take 500K, or you can have the chance at 5 million. But if you divide like
take
the number of
500K
people
and you
left,
get
you
out.
take the 500K because you're at least getting
It's a
something.
no-brainer.
I've
Yeah,
lived
exactly.
on bean burritos most of my life. It'd be nice to put some extra onions, or maybe
No,
some
Kevin,
red sauce
if you
in
watch
there.
the show, you can clear this up for me because I saw mister Beast telling some guy, "Oh, okay, so how much debt do you have?" He's like, "Yeah, if I took that, I could pay off all my debt." He's like, "How much debt do you have?" He's like, "Oh, like 550K," and it's like 570K less. And the guy's like, "Yeah, I could pay off all my debt." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What about taxes? You can't pay off all your debt. Like that's like 40% taxes
Who
on
has
giveaways."
$550,000 in debt?
Well,
How
a
old were
mortgage,
they?
Night.
a mortgage.
Well, they shouldn't be that old. It should be younger people that have the debt, but good
The guy-
night.
well, no,
Oh,
but-
mortgage. Okay, all right. I take
yeah,
it back.
mortgage. His
I'm not,
mortgage
I,
could be 450 of that.
I often don't think of mortgage. I mean, a mortgage is
Yeah.
obviously debt, but it's not consumer debt. So
He was including his
little different.
mortgage. He said he was including
Yeah,
his
I
mortgage.
got you.
So it makes more
yeah,
sense.
that'd be
that way.
nice. I like it.
Why am
Yeah, but
I
whatever
Dave?
that is, 300,000. That's going to help a lot towards making that lower or doing whatever
yeah.
you want. I would take the money instead of risking getting
No, I would
nothing.
take the money too. The game doesn't sound fun too. I've heard. Oh, this is what I was telling Carrie this morning. I was. How did I stumble upon this? Somehow I figured out the girl from Orange Is the New Black and That 70s Show has a cooking channel on YouTube. I don't remember what rabbit
yeah?
hole led me down there, but she's got a cooking channel on YouTube.
Dave
weirdest part to
scours
me-
the cooking channels
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
the weirdest
old
part to me is like
resellers.
this is the lady, this is the girl from Orange Is the New Black, and I'm like, you mean that 70s show?
I've never
You
seen
didn't
that
even
70s
realize.
show. Never watched it.
That's a good question.
Good show.
Laura Prepon or whatever her name is.
Prepon,
What is she more
yeah,
famous
like
for?
that.
I feel like she's more famous for the 70s show.
Is that
Not
the
for me,
redhead?
wrong.
Because I've never seen it. No,
Yeah,
it's a
the
long
redhead.
black hair. Oh, she redhead in that
Dyed her
show?
hair, yeah.
I never saw that 70s show, so I
Well,
don't
Or
know.
maybe one of the times it was dyed, yeah.
In Orange Is the New Black, she has long black hair. Oh, I know what it was. The guy checking us out at Starbucks this morning sounded like her.
And I was like, oh, it sounds like the girl from Orange is the New Black.
So you
And I was
just-
playing it
yeah.
for Tina. I looked her up on YouTube, and her channel popped up. She's got a cooking channel. So
Really?
I
What's your
commented on it
competition?
with my cooking channel.
Yeah.
Because you immediately told me after that your videos were better and you got more views. That
She
you
needs
did
more
say that.
camera angles.
You have the Commonwealth humility that we love about you.
Yeah, that's how I roll, guys. Kevin does do that, by the way.
gosh.
If you have a flipper video, Kevin has told us why his is better.
What?
Allegedly.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, did you pause this thing? What are you talking about?
Just still going.
I'm defaming your name. You're
What's
supposed to say
happening?
no, Dave. That's not true.
Well, please, if people still believe what you say on this show, God help